someone who snuck up on us a couple seasons ago, playing Root, Amy Acker. And lastly, a new member of the team, maybe a reluctant member, playing Shaw, Sarah Shahi. So we're gonna get to audience questions in a little bit, so think about what you got in mind. Let me start off though, obviously one thing that came up earlier this year, a lot of press, a little thing called Prism. Greg, you guys have been working on the show for a couple of years. When that happened, did you think, our show calls that? Or did you also think,
Thank you.
Prism is great, it's not very similar to it?
Showed up at San Diego Comic Con, we might wear t-shirts that just told you. It is really amazing.
What kind of
what is transpired
Ultimate
I think the only difference between Prism and the machine that Harold Finch built is that he was actually concerned with your civil liberties.
Jim, was one of the first people to sign up to this show. Did you think when you heard the concept, okay, well that's a cool, interesting what-if concept, or did you think, that sounds like something that's probably happening?
Probably happening. But what I'm amazed at is the writer's ability to always stay ahead of her and continue.
And Taraji, we have to talk about what we just saw, because that was pretty exciting to see that.
I was so excited when I got that script. Like, this is juicy. And what about this kid who plays Lasky? Oh God, he's amazing, right? He stole my heart. But I mean, he was trying to ruin me. He called me a bitch. No, but the writing just never ceases to amaze me on the show, and that storyline is gonna blow you away. And finally, when we get to the script where it involves every character on the show, it's just can't say much more because Greg is kicking me under the table.
Thanks, Taraji. Checks in the mail.
Kevin, you start off the show and you are, being forced basically to work for this guy. We don't think we can trust you based on what happened in the pilot. Has it been fun for you to chart in becoming, much more, integral and someone that we actually have learned that we can trust this guy and see a completely different side of him than we first met?
Well, is he a bad guy doing good things, or is he a good guy doing bad things? That's up to the viewers. But I just want to say, after seeing that last piece that I just saw of the car, and I got room to the left of me, I am scared for my life right now. You sweat, right? You see this? I'm scared. Somebody hold me.
Amy, we were talking backstage. You're a very nice, sweet person. Where does scary Root come from? Because she's freaking scary.
I think I just saved it all. I don't know. I don't know. I think Root's just trying to get what she needs to happen. She usually does it with a smile.
And Sarah, we did meet, when we met Shaw, she did have a partner, so it's not like we saw that she worked with people, but she's still, she didn't scream team player.
No, she's a lone wolf. She likes being a lone wolf.
So how do you think she's adjusting now? Because she's been working with these guys a little bit, is it getting comfortable for her, or is it always still strange?
It's happening slowly. I think Reese and Finch are teaching her how to be a polite assassin. Shoot kneecaps, don't go for the heart. And she's learning slowly, very slowly.
In general, Greg,
She does like bear, yes.
everyone loves Bear.
Yeah, the scene stealer.
Greg, as the show has progressed, it has, we have built a team. We started as this sort of duo. We had a couple of the characters interact with them, and now we're getting much more of a team dynamic. Was that something that you always thought you'd like to go to, or did it just kind of develop as you had these characters and like seeing how they bounce off Reese and Finch?
Yeah, Team Machine has been sort of organic development. We think, we feel like this thing started with Harold Finch in enlisting Reese, and it's just sort of built outward from there. And we like characters that live in the gray. This is a great looking cast, isn't it? Everybody's so talented on our show. It's like, you know, it's like a band where you just want to play all the instruments at various times. And I think each one of them brings something else to the table. And we just love characters that live in the gray. And each one of these guys has a bit of a dark side, as you can see from the clip we just saw of Taraji. It's just fun. It's fun to play in that zone, and all of them are so talented. We feel lucky.
Jim, similar to Shaw, you know, there's a lot about Reese that sort of screams loner when we first meet him, but, you know, he has now made a lot of connections, obviously close one with Finch, but all these other characters do. He seems to deal with them in different ways. Do you think he's sort of a stealth people person? Like he gives off at first, he don't think he will be, but then he really is very good at making these connections?
I would say that probably I have been around the special ops community for a long time, since '96 in fact. And I would say that one thing about these guys is that the mission always succeeds. Even if they get separated from their technology, their computers, everything, they can grab their own buck knife or someone else's and finish the operation. Reese is always going to take an approach from a lack of trust in technology. And I would say that my approach as far as what you were saying, stealth, you have to be able to be prepared to work alone, or else the mission fails.
But at the same time, you know, he does
There's
seem
a team player, there's always a team. There's a group of guys that can be together, work together as a team, work together at you know, some guys are the pinky, some, if you were going to compare it to a body, some guys are the brain that they defer to on every mission. Some guys are the medic or some guys are the sniper, but they're all prepared to do the technology, the computer system, the buck knife, whatever have you, to complete it.
Taraji, you know, there's a lot going on with your character right now. You know, she also has the whole thing where she's helping hide alliance, and Reese and Finch are not a part of that. Is there a little, you know, how might that, you know, how does she think Reese and Finch would react to all of that? Or how do you think she is kind of working on her own, maybe when she doesn't even have to?
She learned a lot from her angel. We've taught her everything she knows. A woman will do a lot for her man. They killed my man. So I gotta take him down. No, I can't commend the writers enough. The storyline is brilliant. But yeah, like I said, she's learned a lot from Reese. You know, basically, that's it.
He's learned a lot from you.
We've taught each other a lot.
We had obviously a lot of you know, Carter and Frisco working together the first 2 years. Right now, they're not as much because of the situation. What's that like for you, Kevin, to sort of explore, you know, what he's like, you know, on the job, separated from her, doing his own thing sometimes?
Well, I mean, Fusco's is the last man standing in the precinct, and he's kind of swimming against that HR tide. He knows that Carter is going over the loss of her boyfriend, and you know, he's trying to be as helpful as he possibly can, but also, you know, he has to navigate that internal HR shark food and try to keep him catching the ball himself. So I think that's really what's happening right now. You know, as you see the relationship between Carter and Fusco really turned at the end of last season. So it's just you know, it's funny because when I walk in the precinct now, I look across and she's not there, and I think it was episode 2 where she approaches Fusco in the precinct dressed in the uniform. It's kind of awkward.
You cry, don't you?
A little bit.
You look very good in the uniform, though.
Thank you.
maybe the machine, you know, all the characters obviously have different interactions with the machine, but your character, I mean, she worships the machine, she's calling it God. But at the same time, it's interesting because, you know, she's having these moments where she's not killing as much, you know. Last week, it told her not to. Is the machine making Root a better person?
You know, I think I've actually killed the least people of anyone at the table. But, yeah, I mean, I think the machine and her, this is kind of what she dreamed would happen, and now everything is starting to all come together. She's getting all of the stuff that people were calling her crazy, now the machine's reaching out to her and helping her escape. So obviously she was right about something. But I think the machine's helping, yeah. Did I answer the question? I think the machine's making her a better person because she wanted to kill her and she didn't.
Unless there's a nefarious reason.
Baby steps.
We're going to start taking audience questions in a minute. I think there are mics somewhere out there in the darkness. You want to start lining up. But, now it's time to start. There's the mic. Sarah, you know, shot as an absolute badass, obviously. Totally, you know, cool. And, this season with your character. Yeah, is that fun for you to see? To see how that character can also, she can kick ass 1 minute and then be a good source of comedy.
Have a burger or steak on a knife.
Steak on a knife.
No, it is great, and it's something that, you know, when I was speaking with Greg and Jonah about this character when they first created her, we would see bits and pieces of her, but it would be revealed slowly. And you know, I think I've been around now for 8 episodes, 9, 10 episodes in, where, yeah, her humor is starting to be through, and you get to see that even though there is a Terminator on the outside, you know, she's a sarcastic Terminator.
I'd like to point out that Sarah ate like 5 steaks that day, all with Tabasco sauce and about 100 degrees.
And I ate them all.
Amazing.
I ate them all. I love to eat during steak.
It's good at least she's not a vegetarian.
Steaks on knives is going to be the new thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's take our first audience question over here.
Hi, my question is for the ladies on the panel. No offense to Jim and Kevin, you guys.
No offense, hey, believe me, I'm scared, trust me.
You guys are really talented and amazing. But I have to say, you know, as a female, I really enjoy watching a show that has really strong, incredible, complicated women on it.
Yeah. You don't see that very often.
I think the tide is finally turning as though someone wants to write someday for television that makes me feel good. So I was just asking how you guys feel about being on a show that's, I think, really champions that idea. On a network that, no offense, hasn't always had that.
Yeah. I don't know, I guess I'll go first. You know, it's nice to be thought of for a role that wasn't the finger-shaking girlfriend or, you know, the assistant or the secretary. And I know everyone keeps talking about, you know, the Mayan calendar and the year of the woman, and I just want to say I wholeheartedly believe in that. We are women, we rock, we have babies, we do it all. And I'm just incredibly proud and so grateful to have this opportunity.
Just honored that they showcase women, not just, you know, as badasses, but intelligent, caring mothers. You know, my character has a son, but still able to go out and handle business. It just feels good. It feels good to not be the pretty secretary or, like Sarah said, the girlfriend. There's enough of those roles out there.
I know.
I think it's fun too that all the women are so different and still have those common characteristics. Yeah.
And we have a number of really strong women writers on our show, quite a few producers. In fact, one of them is here today, Denise Day, is somewhere here. I know she's here.
Hey, Denise! You will not believe the dark shit this woman writes.
She's here with her family, and she she's one of the many fantastic writers on our show. And we had an incredible crew. I see a couple, I think our directors here, Fred Toya, present episode, Kate Vogel. We have really, really strong supporting staff, and we couldn't do it without them. They're constantly reminding us of the Bechdel test and things like that to make sure we're keeping it. Denise wrote that scene. No, sorry.
What's it like to write for the show and to write the female characters on this show?
Well, we all write the characters, all the writers write all the characters. But for me, as women are saying, it's very empowering to actually get to write these scenes. And you don't on a television show. You don't get the chance to really speak as a woman and show all the different facets. And I do love that. I love that you're all different. I love that Carter has a son. I love that, you can all, use your guns. And it's everything. You're soft and hard all at the same time. And you guys do it beautifully. Thank you. Thank you.
Samantha Shaw, Ruth's first name is also Samantha.